Hello and welcome. You've found Dream Science, a quiet space where we invite you to simply be. Whether you're untangling thoughts, seeking wonder, or hoping to drift off, you are welcome here. Tonight, join us for a gentle, unhurried exploration of science's most elegant riddles. No rush, just a soft journey into the beautifully baffling corners of reality. Have you ever considered how a thought might precede brain activity, or how your vivid memories subtly change each time you recall them? And what about that uncanny sense of destiny? As you settle in, perhaps gazing out at the quiet world, know that many minds like yours are doing the same. If this space brings you peace, a quiet like or subscribe helps other calm minds find their way here. Now, let go. Allow your breath to deepen. Prepare to descend into thoughts that shouldn't exist, and let the quiet wonder carry you. You wake up, the familiar scent of coffee brewing already teasing your senses. The sunlight streams through your window, painting a warm, comforting rectangle on the floor. You glance at the clock to 7 a.m. A new day. You feel the firmness of your mattress, the slight chill in the air, the gentle hum of the refrigerator in the distance. This moment, this precise, unfolding present, feels undeniably real, immediate, and singular. It is the bedrock of your existence, the very fabric of now. Every breath, every thought, every sensation seems to coalesce into this unyielding point in time, moving forward, relentless and unwavering. We live our lives anchored to this perceived linearity, convinced that the past is gone, the future yet to arrive, and the present is all we truly inhabit. But what if this bedrock is a mirage? What if the comforting notion of a singular, flowing now is one of the grandest deceptions your mind perpetrates upon itself? The unsettling truth is that the present moment, as you experience it, does not exist in the way you intuitively believe. It is not a fixed point, but a constantly shifting, constructed narrative. A whisper of a consensus, woven from disparate threads of perception and memory. Imagine trying to catch a waterfall with a sieve. You can see the water, feel its spray, but you can't hold onto a single drop of the flowing stream. The now is even more elusive. For us, for human beings, our perception of the present is a complex tapestry woven from information that arrives at our brains at slightly different speeds. The light hitting your eyes, the sound waves vibrating your eardrums, the pressure on your skin, these are all distinct signals traveling at their own pace. Your brain doesn't receive them all simultaneously. It receives the visual information first, then auditory, then tactile, but it quickly stitches them together, creating the seamless illusion of simultaneity. It's like a master editor in a film studio, taking slightly out of sync clips and meticulously aligning them so you perceive one continuous scene. The now you experience is not the raw, unprocessed data of reality. It's your brain's best guess, its most plausible fiction. This isn't just about sensory lag. Consider the very notion of a moment. How long is it? A second? A millisecond? The shortest measurable unit of time. If you could slow down your perception enough, you would find that any given now is a composite, a tiny sliver of time containing events that at a deeper level are not truly synchronous. Think of watching a complex ballet. You see that dancers move as one harmonious entity, but if you could isolate each muscle twitch, each subtle shift of weight, you'd find a cascade of micro-events that aren't perfectly aligned. Your brain does this constantly, creating the illusion of a unified present from a cacophony of asynchronous inputs. It's like a conductor unifying an orchestra, ensuring that despite individual instruments playing their notes at slightly different instances, the audience hears a single, coherent melody. What does this profound implication mean for you, for us? If your now is a construct, then your sense of direct, unmediated reality is fundamentally flawed. Does free will exist in a present that is already being assembled, a narrative already being written by your subconscious? If the brain is actively creating the present, are we truly experiencing reality, or a highly sophisticated, incredibly convincing simulation of it, crafted for our comfort and convenience? What then is the difference between remembering and experiencing, if both are ultimately brain-generated narratives? Does this mean our memories are not simply recollections of past nows, but fresh constructions, indistinguishable from the now we are supposedly living? This unsettling truth, the fabricated nature of your present moment, is not a burden, but a liberation. It means that the reality you inhabit is, in part, a masterpiece of your own making. You are not a passive recipient of time, but an active participant in its creation, at least within the confines of your own consciousness. Your brain, with its extraordinary capacity for synthesis, offers you a personalized, exquisitely curated experience of existence. This understanding grants you a profound power, the power to question, to observe not just what you perceive, but how you perceive it, to realize that the boundaries of time, as you instinctively understand them, are far more fluid, far more malleable than you ever dared to imagine. So, as you take your next breath, feeling the warmth of the sun or the chill of the air, consider this: what else about your reality is a brilliant illusion, woven just for you? And what will you do with this awareness, this unsettling freedom, knowing that the very moment you inhabit is a story your mind is telling itself? You've just grappled with the unsettling notion that your present is a brilliant, brain-crafted illusion, a seamless narrative woven from asynchronous sensory data. The lingering question hums in your mind: if now is a construct, what about time itself? You instinctively feel its relentless march forward, a single, irreversible arrow pointing from past to future. Every choice you make, every word you speak, seems to propel you along this linear path. You remember yesterday, you plan for tomorrow, and the undeniable feeling is that each moment, once experienced, is gone forever, existing only as a memory, a ghost in the annals of your personal history. We believe our decisions carve out this future, one definitive step after another, leaving the past firmly behind us. But what if this arrow of time, so fixed and absolute in your experience, is far less rigid than you imagine? What if your choices, the very fabric of your agency, aren't simply creating a future, but are instead resonating across an unfathomable landscape of possibilities, echoing into countless other nows that you will never perceive? The truly my concept is that every decision you make, no matter how small, might be simultaneously creating and experiencing every possible outcome in parallel universes. This isn't just science fiction, it's a direct implication of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Imagine a single electron sitting at a fork in the road. In our everyday experience, it would choose one path or the other. But at the quantum level, it seems to take both. Instead of collapsing its possibilities into a single reality, the many worlds interpretation suggests that the universe itself splits. One universe sees the electron go left, another sees it go right. And this doesn't just apply to tiny particles, it applies to you. Consider a simple choice. You're deciding between coffee or tea this morning. In your perceived reality, you reach for the coffee. But according to this interpretation, at that very moment of decision, the universe doesn't just proceed down one path. Instead, it decoheres, splitting into two distinct branches. In one branch, you are sipping coffee. In the other, equally real branch, another you is enjoying tea. And this branching happens for every single quantum event, every flicker of a photon, every decay of an atom, and ultimately, every conscious decision. It's like an infinitely branching tree, where every leaf represents a different universe, and you exist on a countless number of those leaves, experiencing every possible permutation of your life. We are not just living one life, we are living an uncountable multitude of lives, each one a slight variation, a different trajectory shaped by different choices. The profound implications of this are staggering. If every choice you make instantly births an alternate reality where you chose differently, what then of regret? What of consequence? Does the weight of a decision lessen if you know that in another universe you made the right choice, or perhaps the wrong one, and are living with its outcome? Does your individual identity fragment across this vast multiverse, making the you reading this just one facet of an infinite, shimmering diamond? Are your memories truly singular, or are they echoes from a tapestry of parallel experiences, barely distinguishable from one another? What does it mean to be you when countless versions of you are simultaneously living out every possible iteration of your existence? This isn't a call to nihilism, but an invitation to a terrifying and exhilarating freedom. If every possibility is realized somewhere, then the pressure of making the perfect choice diminishes. Each decision becomes an act of exploration, a step into one specific branch of an infinite, unfolding landscape. Your life, the one you perceive, is your chosen narrative, but it exists within a symphony of other narratives. This perspective offers a unique understanding of what it means to truly live, to fully inhabit this branch, this reality, with all its unique joys and sorrows, triumphs and challenges, knowing that countless others are unfolding alongside it. So, as you go about your day, making choices, big and small, what to wear, what to say, which path to take, pause for a moment, feel the subtle tremor of possibility that accompanies each decision, and ask yourself, what other versions of you are making different choices right now? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet profoundly liberating, knowledge that your life is not just a single story, but an infinite library of every story you could ever live? You've grappled with the illusion of the present and the unsettling echoes of decisions across a multiverse. Now, let's push deeper into the very nature of what you call memory. You trust your memories implicitly, don't you? They feel like faithful records, meticulously stored videos or photographs of your past. You recall the taste of your grandmother's cookies, the sting of a childhood scraped knee, the exact words of an important conversation. This belief in memory's fidelity forms the bedrock of your personal identity, linking your present self directly to every experience that shaped you. We construct our sense of who we are based on these concrete recollections, assuming they are true reflections of what was. But what if your memories aren't stored recordings at all? What if, instead of being retrieved, each recollection is reconstructed anew every single time you access it? The truly mind-bending implication is that every act of remembering is also an act of creation, subtly altering the very past you're trying to recall. Your brain isn't a hard drive storing perfect files. It's a brilliant, improvisational storyteller, editing and embellishing with each retelling. This unsettling truth stems from how your brain actually works. Memories aren't tucked away in a single, static location. Instead, they're distributed networks of neurons scattered across various brain regions. When you try to remember something, your brain doesn't just play back a fixed recording, it reactivates these disparate neural pathways, and in the process of reassembling the pieces, it updates and modifies them. Think of it like this. You're not pulling a dusty old photo album off a shelf. You're sketching a picture based on fragments you find, and each time you sketch it, a few details might change. A different color might be used, or a new element might be added based on your current feelings, knowledge, or even the context in which you're remembering. We might add a detail that wasn't there, or smooth over a rough edge, or even completely forget crucial elements without even realizing it. Consider the famous studies on eyewitness testimony. Time and again, perfectly honest people vividly describe events that never happened, incorporating suggestions or new information into their memories. Why? Because their brains, in the act of recalling, were weaving new threads into the old tapestry. Each time you revisit a memory, it's like resaving a document on your computer, but each time, you're opening it, making tiny, almost imperceptible edits, and then saving that edited version as the new original. The more often you recall something, the more opportunities your brain has to subtly revise it. Is the vividness of a memory a sign of its accuracy, or merely a testament to how many times you've meticulously reconstructed it, making it more detailed and seemingly real with each iteration? What does this profound implication mean for you? For us, if your memories are constantly being re-edited, what happens to the concept of an objective past? Is your personal history, the story of you, a fixed biography, or a continuously evolving narrative shaped by your present self? Does this undermine your sense of identity, knowing that the very foundation of who you believe you are is a fluid, mutable construct? How can you truly trust what you remember if the act of remembering changes it? What impact does this have on forgiveness, on healing, on learning from past mistakes? If the mistake itself is being subtly rewritten each time you recall it. This unsettling truth, the reconstructive nature of memory, offers a radical shift in perspective. It means you are not merely a passive repository of your past, but an active, ongoing author of your life story. Your brain's incredible capacity to reimagine and reintegrate means you have a dynamic relationship with your personal history. You're not trapped by a fixed past. You possess the subtle, often unconscious power to reframe it, to learn from it in new ways, to even, perhaps, selectively cultivate the memories that empower you. This realization isn't about distrusting your brain. It's about understanding its incredible creative power. So, the next time a memory surfaces, vibrant and clear, pause for a moment, feel its texture, its emotion, and then, with a new sense of wonder, ask yourself, is this truly what was, or is this the latest, most beautifully crafted version of a story my mind is telling itself, woven for me in this very moment? And what possibilities does this ongoing act of creation open up for the narrative of your future? You've explored the fleeting nature of the present and the fluid artistry of memory. Now, let's confront perhaps the most deeply unsettling truth of all, your perceived autonomy. You live with an unquestioning belief in your own free will, don't you? Every morning, you decide what to wear, what to eat, which route to take to work. You consciously weigh options, make rational choices, and feel utterly in control of your actions. This feeling of agency is fundamental to your sense of self, your morality, and your responsibility for your life. We often judge ourselves and others based on these conscious decisions, assuming they originate from a deliberate, self-aware you at the helm. But what if this powerful feeling of being the author of your own choices is, to a profound degree, an elaborate illusion spun by your own brain? What if the decisions you think you're making consciously have, in fact, already been made by processes operating entirely outside your awareness, leaving your consciousness merely to retroactively claim credit? The truly mind-bending concept is that your conscious mind might be the last to know your decisions, not the first. This unsettling truth emerges from decades of neuroscience. Seminal experiments, like those by Benjamin Libet in the 1980s, demonstrated something astonishing. Participants were asked to spontaneously flick their wrist whenever they felt like it, noting the exact moment they made the conscious decision to move. Brain activity, however, showed a surge in a region associated with motor planning, the readiness potential, up to several hundred milliseconds before the conscious decision was reported. More recent studies, using fMRI, have extended this unconscious decision window to several seconds before a conscious choice. It's as if your brain sends out an anonymous memo, makes a plan, and then, much later, informs your conscious you about what's going to happen, allowing you to feel like you just decided. Don't think of it like this. Your brain is a massive, bustling city. The conscious you is like the city's mayor, sitting in a fancy office, giving speeches and signing papers. But beneath the surface, thousands of invisible departments, your subconscious neural networks, are already making crucial, logistical decisions, setting up infrastructure, and dispatching resources. By the time the memo reaches the mayor's desk for official approval, the work is already well underway. Your conscious thought isn't the initiator, it's the public relations department, explaining and rationalizing actions already underway. We are, in a sense, puppets whose strings are pulled by an unseen, internal puppeteer. And our conscious mind is the one narrating the puppet's actions as if they were its own. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your conscious self isn't truly in control, where does responsibility lie? Does the concept of blame, of praise, of punishment hold the same weight? If your choices are predetermined by the intricate dance of neurons and past experiences, are you truly free? What happens to guilt, to pride, if the perceived choice was an echo of an unconscious command? Does this mean that you, the conscious agent, are merely a passenger, observing the ride rather than steering the wheel? This unsettling truth, the pre-conscious nature of many of your decisions, is not a call to fatalism, but an invitation to profound self-awareness. It doesn't eliminate agency entirely. Rather, it reframes it. While immediate conscious control might be an illusion, your brain's unconscious processes are shaped by your past experiences, your learning, your environment, and even your conscious reflection over time. You are constantly building and refining the rules by which your subconscious operates. This understanding means that true agency might lie not in the conscious act of picking option A over B in the moment, but in the long-term cultivation of your habits, your values, and the very architecture of your mind. You don't directly choose your next thought, but you can choose what kind of mind you cultivate, what inputs you feed it, and what patterns you reinforce. So, the next time you decide to reach for that coffee or to speak a certain word, pause for a moment, feel the subtle impulse, the thought arising, and then, with a new sense of wonder, ask yourself, was this truly my conscious decision? Or did my silent, internal architect already lay the groundwork, presenting it to me as a fate, accompli, and what power lies in understanding and perhaps influencing the deep, unseen currents that truly shape your life. You've journeyed through the constructed present, the branching echoes of choice, and the silent architects of your decisions. Each step has chipped away at your intuitive understanding of reality. Now, let's turn our gaze outward, beyond the confines of your own mind to the very fabric of the cosmos. You perceive the universe as a vast, sprawling collection of distinct objects, stars, planets, people, particles. You see boundaries, separations, discrete entities interacting with each other. This is the classical worldview, where things are solid, predictable, and fundamentally separate. We feel distinct from the air we breathe, the ground we walk on, and the distant galaxies that twinkle in the night sky. But what if this fundamental separation, this idea of independent things, is another profound illusion? What if, at its deepest level, the universe isn't a collection of individual parts, but a single, indivisible whole, where everything is inextricably linked? The truly mind-bending concept is quantum entanglement, where particles become so deeply connected that they share the same fate, no matter how far apart they are. In this cosmic dance, distance is rendered meaningless, and the very notion of isolated entities dissolves. Imagine you have two coins, one in your hand and one on the other side of the galaxy. If these coins were classically separate, flipping one wouldn't tell you anything about the other until you communicated. But with quantum entanglement, it's as if these coins were once a single, spinning entity that somehow split apart. If you flip your coin and it lands on heads, you instantly know that the coin across the galaxy, upon being observed, will always land on tails and vice versa. There's no signal sent, no communication occurring faster than light. Their states are perfectly correlated, instantaneously. It's as if they're still part of the same original decision, even when separated by light. We call this spooky action at a distance, and it shatters our everyday understanding of locality and independent existence. This phenomenon isn't just theoretical, it has been repeatedly demonstrated in laboratories. Particles thousands of kilometers apart have shown this instantaneous, shared reality. Think of it like a cosmic web, an invisible lattice underlying everything, where pulling one strand vibrates another, no matter how far away. Your everyday experience of separate objects is like seeing only the visible knots in a vast, interconnected fishing net, unaware of the continuous threads that bind them all together. Every particle that makes up your body, every atom in the chair you're sitting on, was once intimately connected in the early universe, and some fundamental aspect of that connection, that shared origin, persists. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If everything is entangled at its deepest level, what does this mean for individuality? Are you truly a separate entity, or are you an intricate, localized manifestation of a much larger, interconnected consciousness or cosmic process? Does this imply a deeper unity to existence, where our individual experiences are merely different perspectives of a single, unfolding reality? What does it mean for death, if the particles that comprise you are eternally linked to the universe's grand design? Does our perceived isolation from nature, from each other, from the cosmos itself, become just another layer of illusion? This unsettling truth, the profound interconnectedness revealed by quantum entanglement, is not meant to diminish your unique existence, but to expand it. It offers a new, breathtaking perspective on belonging. You are not just a separate being adrift in a vast, indifferent universe. You are an inseparable part of it, woven into its very fabric. Your actions, your thoughts, your very presence ripple through this hidden tapestry, influencing and being influenced by the grand, silent symphony of existence. This understanding transforms your relationship with the world, inviting a profound sense of wonder and responsibility. So, as you look around, seeing distinct objects and separate beings, pause for a moment, feel the subtle hum of connection, the invisible threads that bind you to everything. And then, with a new sense of reverence, ask yourself, what secret messages are constantly being exchanged across the universe's hidden web? And what will you do with the unsettling yet deeply unifying knowledge that you are not just in the universe, but an inextricable, entangled part of its grand, silent conversation? You've glimpsed the interconnectedness of all things through quantum entanglement, a concept that unravels your intuitive sense of discrete objects. Now, let's consider something even more elusive, something that underpins that very interconnectedness, yet remains utterly invisible: the vast, hidden majority of the universe. You look up at the night sky, and what do you see? Stars, galaxies, nebulae, billions upon billions of shimmering lights, all made of the familiar atoms and elements from the periodic table. This visible matter, the stuff you and everything you perceive are made of, seems to be everything. We instinctively believe that what we can see, measure, and interact with through light and other electromagnetic radiation constitutes the entirety of the cosmos. But what if this visible universe, this grand cosmic tapestry of light, is merely a tiny, luminous fraction of what's truly out there? The unsettling truth is that over 95% of the universe is composed of something we cannot see, touch, or directly detect, something profoundly alien and mysterious. Dark matter and dark energy, the familiar world, the stars, the planets, even you, are just a fragile, radiant foam floating on an ocean of the unseen. Imagine trying to understand an iceberg by only looking at the tiny tip that pokes above the water. That tip is our visible universe. Beneath it lies a colossal, unseen mass dark matter, which doesn't interact with light or any other electromagnetic force. We can't see it, it doesn't emit or absorb light, and it passes right through us. Yet, its presence is undeniable because of its gravitational pull. Galaxies spin too fast to hold themselves together with just their visible matter. They need a massive, invisible halo of dark matter gripping them, gravitational lensing, where light from distant galaxies is bent by massive objects, shows us clumps of matter that emit no light. It's like trying to weigh an invisible giant by observing the huge dents it leaves in the ground. And then there's dark energy, an even more baffling force that seems to be pushing the universe apart, accelerating its expansion. It acts like a cosmic anti-gravity, a pervasive, uniform force woven into the very fabric of space itself. We don't know what it is, but it's driving the entire cosmos to expand faster and faster, overriding the gravitational pull of all matter. This isn't just a theoretical puzzle for astrophysicists. It's a gaping hole in our understanding of reality. Your hand, reaching out to touch something, is passing through a torrent of dark matter particles right now, utterly unaware. The light from that distant star, visible to your eye, is just a brief signal from a thin veneer of existence. The forces that truly shape the universe, that govern its large-scale structure and its ultimate fate, are fundamentally unknown to us. We are living on a small, brightly lit island in a vast, dark sea of unknowns, governed by laws we barely comprehend. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If the vast majority of reality is beyond our perception and current comprehension, what does that say about the limits of our senses, our scientific instruments, and even our most sophisticated theories? Does it humble our intellectual arrogance, forcing us to acknowledge the immense scope of the unknown? If the universe is teeming with forms of existence we can't even conceive, what other dimensions, other types of matter, other forces might also be present, shaping our world in ways we haven't even begun to suspect? What does it mean for consciousness, if our very being is made of such a tiny, seemingly insignificant fraction of the cosmic whole? This unsettling truth, the overwhelming presence of dark matter and dark energy, is not a cause for despair, but an exhilarating frontier. It's an invitation to expand your imagination beyond the familiar, to embrace the profound mysteries that surround us. It means that the universe is infinitely stranger and more magnificent than you could ever have imagined. It pushes the boundaries of knowledge, compelling us to develop new ways of seeing, new ways of understanding, new ways of interacting with a reality that is far richer and more complex than its shimmering surface suggests. So, the next time you gaze at the night sky, or even just look at your own hand, pause for a moment. Feel the subtle, unseen currents that permeate everything, and then, with a new sense of profound wonder, ask yourself, what other hidden forces are at play, orchestrating the cosmic dance? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly awe-inspiring, knowledge that you exist within a universe that is mostly, wonderfully, and beautifully dark? You've ventured into the unseen depths of the universe, realizing that what you perceive is but a sliver of the cosmic whole. This awareness of dark matter and dark energy has begun to dismantle your certainty about what constitutes reality. Now, let's consider a concept that echoes through the very history of the universe itself, challenging your comfortable understanding of how things began, and perhaps how they might end. You instinctively picture the universe as having a clear starting point, the Big Bang, a singular, explosive event from which all of existence unfurled. And from that initial burst, everything expanded outwards, cooling and forming, destined to continue its outward journey into a future that seems to stretch infinitely. We believe in a linear cosmic timeline, a clear origin and an endless progression. But what if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning at all? What if it was merely a transition point, an echo from a previous cosmic cycle? The truly mind-bending concept is that our universe might be just one in an eternal series of Big Bangs and Big Crunches, constantly expanding and contracting in an endless cosmic dance. Your universe, your existence, might be a reincarnation of a previous cosmos, and a precursor to the next. This unsettling truth is explored in various cyclic universe models, the most prominent being the conformal cyclic cosmology proposed by Roger Penrose. Imagine a vast, cosmic breath, an exhale, the Big Bang and subsequent expansion, followed by an inhale, a contraction, or Big Crunch, leading back to a state of extreme density and heat, which then reignites into another Big Bang. In this model, the infinitely distant future of our expanding universe becomes, mathematically and physically, the same as the Big Bang of a new universe. The light from our distant stars, redshifting into oblivion as space expands, eventually becomes indistinguishable from the initial burst of energy in a new cycle. It's like a cosmic phoenix, constantly dying and being reborn from its own ashes, where the end of one eon seamlessly transforms into the beginning of the next. We are not living in a singular, unique creation, but within an ongoing, repeating cosmic drama. This isn't just abstract theory, It presents a potential solution to some perplexing cosmic puzzles, such as the surprising uniformity of the cosmic microwave background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang. If our universe is merely a phase in an eternal cycle, then many of the initial conditions for our Big Bang could have been inherited from the previous eon, preserving information across cosmic rebirths. Your atoms, the very particles that make up your body, could have existed through countless previous iterations of the universe, arranged and rearranged in an infinite variety of forms. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If the universe has no true beginning or end, but is instead an eternal oscillation, what does that mean for the concept of ultimate purpose or finality? Does it imply a grander, perhaps unknowable, design that transcends individual cycles? If the conditions of the previous universe subtly influence ours, are we living in a universe preordained by its predecessor, a cosmic echo chamber? Does our brief human existence, stretching merely billions of years into an eternal cycle, become even more fleeting, yet simultaneously part of something infinitely vast and timeless? What does it mean for our legacy, for our aspirations, if everything we know and build will eventually collapse back into an initial state, only to burst forth again, perhaps with slight variations? This unsettling truth, the possibility of an eternal cyclic universe, is not a diminishing of your significance, but an expansion of it. It frames your existence not as a singular, isolated event, but as a moment in an unending cosmic symphony. It offers a profound sense of continuity, suggesting that even as our universe evolves and changes, its fundamental essence persists through endless transformations. This understanding invites a deeper contemplation of cycles in your own life: birth, death, renewal, seeing them as reflections of a universal rhythm. So, the next time you ponder the vastness of space or the fleeting nature of time, pause for a moment. Feel the ancient hum of creation and destruction, the cosmic breath in and out, and then, with a new sense of profound connection, ask yourself, what memories, what faint echoes of previous universes might be subtly imprinted on the very fabric of your reality? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet deeply unifying knowledge that your universe, your very existence, might be part of an endless, cosmic dance of rebirth? You've journeyed through the cosmic cycles and the hidden majority of the universe, each concept stretching your understanding of reality. Now, let's bring it closer to home, to the very essence of what makes you, your consciousness. You intuitively believe that your consciousness resides squarely within your brain, a complex organ of neurons and synapses. Your thoughts, your feelings, your perception of red, the taste of chocolate, all these subjective experiences seem to spring from the intricate workings of your grey matter. We feel like our minds are localized, contained within our skulls, an internal theatre where our personal drama unfolds. But what if this intimate conviction, this feeling of consciousness being solely a product of your brain, is another powerful, yet unsettling, illusion? What if consciousness isn't an emergent property of the brain, but something more fundamental, something that the brain merely filters or accesses? The truly mind-bending concept is that your conscious experience might not be confined to your skull, but could be a universal phenomenon, potentially even existing in rudimentary forms far beyond biological life. This unsettling truth echoes through various philosophical and scientific debates, often termed panpsychism or integrated information theory, IIT. Imagine your brain not as the generator of consciousness, but as a sophisticated receiver, a highly tuned radio picking up signals from a pervasive cosmic field. Just as a television set doesn't create the broadcast but merely displays it, your brain might be processing consciousness rather than producing it. In this view, consciousness isn't something that suddenly appears when neural complexity reaches a certain threshold. Rather, it's a fundamental property of the universe, much like mass or charge, present to some degree in all matter. From this perspective, a single electron might have an infinitesimal sliver of consciousness. And as complexity grows in a cell, a tree, a brain, these tiny bits of awareness integrate into the rich, complex experience you call your own. We aren't creating consciousness. We are merely complex configurations of matter that allow for its integrated expression. Consider the implications. When you look at a vibrant green leaf, your brain certainly processes the visual data, but is the experience of greenness generated solely by those neurons firing, or is that specific configuration of neurons enabling access to a more fundamental greenness that exists as a universal qualia? Think of how gravity acts on everything, from a galaxy to a speck of dust. What if consciousness is similar, a property woven into the fabric of reality, manifesting more elaborately in complex systems like brains? This view challenges the strict materialism that says only matter exists, suggesting that subjective experience is not just an epiphenomenon but an irreducible aspect of the cosmos. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If consciousness is widespread, perhaps even universal, what does that mean for life and death? Does your consciousness simply dissipate, or does it return to a larger, universal pool of awareness? Does it imply a fundamental unity between all conscious beings, even those vastly different from us, across the cosmos? Does it suggest that purpose and meaning might be embedded not just in human experience, but in the very structure of the universe itself? What does it mean for artificial intelligence if consciousness isn't tied exclusively to biological This unsettling truth, the possibility of a pervasive, fundamental consciousness, is not a dissolution of your individual self, but an expansion of its potential. It offers a breathtaking vision of existence, where your subjective experience is not an isolated anomaly, but a localized manifestation of a grander, interconnected awareness. It transforms the universe from a cold, dead mechanism into a vibrant, potentially sentient cosmos. This understanding invites a deeper reverence for all forms of existence, knowing that even seemingly inanimate objects might harbor a spark of the universal mind. So, the next time you feel a strong emotion or ponder a complex thought, pause for a moment. Feel the intricate dance of your neurons, and then, with a new sense of profound wonder, ask yourself, is this feeling, this thought, truly confined to my brain? Or is my brain merely tuning into a much larger, unseen symphony of cosmic awareness? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly awe-inspiring knowledge that you might be a localized expression of the universe's own thinking? You've contemplated consciousness as a potential universal phenomenon, expanding your idea of what it means to be aware. Now, let's bring it back to your immediate, moment-to-moment experience. You implicitly trust your senses, don't you? The vivid colors of a sunset, the distinct aroma of freshly baked bread, the smooth texture of your phone in your hand, these feel like direct, unfiltered inputs from an objective world. You assume your eyes capture light exactly as it is, your ears hear sound waves precisely, and your brain simply translates these external stimuli into a faithful representation of reality. We live as if our senses are windows, transparent and accurate, onto an external world. But what if these windows are, in fact, incredibly sophisticated filters and interpreters, actively constructing the reality you experience rather than passively reflecting it. The truly mind-bending concept is that your brain doesn't just receive sensory data. It invents reality every millisecond, filling in gaps, making predictions, and selectively ignoring information to present you with a coherent, yet fundamentally subjective world. You are not seeing the world as it is. You are seeing the world as your brain tells you it is. This unsettling truth is a cornerstone of cognitive neuroscience. Your retina, for instance, has a blind spot where the optic nerve connects a significant gap in your visual field. Do you ever notice it? No, because your brain effortlessly fills in the missing information, extrapolating from the surrounding visual data to create a seamless image. Similarly, your brain constantly predicts what it expects to see, hear, or feel based on past experiences and current context. It's like a master illusionist, showing you only what it wants you to see, while performing countless hidden tricks behind the curtain. Think of visual illusions, where lines appear bent or colors shift based on context. These aren't external tricks, but revelations of your brain's inherent interpretative mechanisms. We are, in essence, living inside a meticulously crafted simulation, generated by our own neural networks. Consider also how your brain filters out an enormous amount of sensory data. You are constantly bombarded by millions of bits of information. Every second, the pressure of your clothes, the ambient hum of electricity, the subtle shifts in light and shadow, yet you are only consciously aware of a tiny fraction of it. Your brain deems most of it irrelevant, filtering it out to prevent cognitive overload. This filtering is essential for survival, allowing you to focus, but it also means you are fundamentally blind and deaf to much of what is truly happening around you. The reality you experience is a highly curated selection, a personalized highlight reel designed for efficiency, not objective truth. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your reality is a subjective construction, where does objective truth lie? Does it even exist in a way we can access it? Does this mean that no two people experience the exact same reality, even if they are standing side to face? What does this imply for shared understanding, for empathy, for conflict resolution, if our fundamental perceptions are divergent? If your senses are deceptive, how can you trust your own judgments, your own interpretations, your very grasp of what is real? Does it mean that arguments about seeing things differently are not just figures of speech, but literal truths rooted in the brain's construction of reality? This unsettling truth, the brain's active role in constructing your reality, is not a reason for distrust, but a powerful invitation to metacognition, to think about your thinking, to perceive your perceiving. It empowers you with the knowledge that your experience of the world is not fixed, but dynamic and malleable. By understanding the brain's filters and biases, you can begin to question your assumptions, open yourself to alternative interpretations, and potentially even rewire your perception through mindfulness, attention, and conscious effort. You gain a profound sense of agency, not over objective reality, but over your experience of it. So, the next time you marvel at a sunset, or are convinced of a particular truth, pause for a moment, feel the vibrant colors, the undeniable conviction, and then, with a new sense of profound curiosity, ask yourself, is this truly how the world is? Or is this the magnificent, intricate reality my brain is weaving for me in this very moment? And what possibilities does this understanding open up for how you can consciously shape, and perhaps even expand, the boundaries of your own perceived world? you've explored the brain's role in constructing your reality, a fascinating internal theater where your senses are the primary illusionists. Now, let's shift your focus from what is to what isn't, or rather, what seems to be missing. You perceive the world as fundamentally solid and continuous. You sit on a chair, feeling its firm resistance. You touch a table, and it feels unyielding. Even the air, though invisible, offers resistance when you move through it. This intuitive understanding of solidity and continuous substance has been the bedrock of human experience for millennia. We believe in the tangible, the material, the things we can literally grasp. But what if this solidity, this perceived continuity of matter, is another grand illusion, a trick of scale played on your senses? The truly mind-bending concept is that the vast majority of what you perceive as solid matter is, in fact, empty space. The atoms that make up your body, the chair, the very planet beneath your feet, are almost entirely void. Your hand, feeling the chair's resistance, is largely pushing against nothing. This unsettling truth comes directly from the very heart of modern physics, the atomic model. Imagine an atom, a nucleus, tiny beyond comprehension, sitting at its center, surrounded by electrons zipping around it. If an atom were expanded to the size of a cathedral, the nucleus would be like a tiny fly buzzing in the center, and the electrons would be specks of dust swirling around the outer walls. The vast, overwhelming space between the nucleus and the electrons is, to all intents and purposes, empty. It's not filled with air or anything else. It's just vacuum. Every single atom, the fundamental building block of all matter, is overwhelmingly empty. We are living in a universe that is mostly nothing, yet we perceive it as everything. Consider what this means for your daily experience. When you walk across a room, your feet don't actually touch the floor in the way you imagine. The electrons in your shoes repel the electrons in the floor, creating an electromagnetic force that feels like solid contact. It's like two magnets pushing against each other, never quite touching, yet exerting a powerful interaction. Your perceived solidity, the feel of a surface, is simply the sensation of these electromagnetic forces at play across vast atomic voids. The very chair you are sitting on, which feels so robust, is a collection of infinitesimally small nuclei surrounded by swirling clouds of electrons, separated by enormous tracts of emptiness, all held together by invisible forces. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If everything is mostly empty space, what does that say about the nature of existence? Does it diminish the tangibility of the world, making it feel ephemeral, ghost-like? If your body is fundamentally a field of interacting forces with vast internal voids, what does that mean for your sense of physical boundaries, your distinctness from the outside world? Does it make the concept of touch or contact more nuanced, more like a dance of repulsion and attraction across the void? What does it mean to hold something when what you're truly doing is manipulating vast, empty spaces held in specific configurations by unseen forces? This unsettling truth, the emptiness of matter, is not a cause for existential dread, but a profound reframe of your connection to the universe. It means that the world is far more subtle and wondrous than its apparent solidity suggests. It invites you to see beyond the surface, to appreciate the delicate balance of forces that create the illusion of the tangible. This understanding can foster a deeper connection to the quantum realm, recognizing that the invisible forces are just as real, if not more fundamental, than the apparent solidity they create. So, the next time you touch something, or simply feel the ground beneath your feet, pause for a moment. Feel the undeniable resistance, the reassuring firmness, and then, with a new sense of profound awe, ask yourself, am I truly touching something solid, or am I experiencing the intricate dance of forces across an immense cosmic void? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly magnificent, knowledge that you, and everything around you, are mostly, wonderfully, nothing? You've peered into the profound emptiness that constitutes matter, a revelation that shatters your intuitive sense of solidity. Now, let's consider something even more fundamental to your experience: motion and communication. You instinctively believe that information can travel instantly, or at least as fast as you can send it. You pick up your phone, dial a number, and your voice reaches across continents in an imperceptible fraction of a second. You imagine that if you could somehow teleport to a distant star, you could see events unfolding there in real time. This intuitive understanding assumes that the universe allows for immediate connections. That distance is merely a hurdle to overcome with enough speed. But what if this assumption of potentially limitless speed, this idea of instantaneous communication or observation across vast distances, is fundamentally flawed? The truly mind-bending concept is that the speed of light in a vacuum sea isn't just fast. It's the absolute, unbreachable speed limit of the universe. No information, no object with mass can ever travel faster than light. Your immediate desires, your urgent messages, the events unfolding across the galaxy, all are subject to this cosmic speed limit, creating an inherent delay in your perception of reality. This unsettling truth is a cornerstone of Einstein's special theory of relativity. Imagine you are watching a cosmic drama unfold on a planet in the Andromeda galaxy, which is about 2.5 million light-years away. If that planet were to explode right now, you wouldn't see it for 2.5 million years. The light from that explosion, even though it travels at the universe's ultimate speed, still takes a colossal amount of time to reach your eyes. This isn't just a technical limitation. It's a fundamental property of space and time itself. There is no such thing as instantaneous across cosmic distances. The present moment you experience is always slightly or enormously in the past, relative to the events unfolding far away. We are perpetually living in the universe's past, and what we observe is always a delayed echo of what was. Consider what this means for your connection to the cosmos. When you gaze at a distant star, you are not seeing it as it is now, but as it was millions or even billions of years ago. Some of the stars you see in the night sky might have already ceased to exist, their light still traveling through the void, carrying a ghost image of their former glory. This inherent delay means that the universe you perceive is a patchwork of different nows, a collection of pasts converging on your present. Your conscious experience of the cosmos is not a real-time broadcast, but a carefully curated historical documentary, assembled by the finite speed of light. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If all information is bound by this cosmic speed limit, does that mean true simultaneity across vast distances is an illusion? What does it mean for the concept of objective reality if different observers, due to their relative positions and the speed of light, will always perceive events in a slightly different sequence or past? Does this inherent delay make us fundamentally isolated, forever separated from the true present of the universe? What does it mean for our understanding of cause and effect if an action on a distant planet won't register its effect on Earth for millions of years? This unsettling truth The universal speed limit of light is not a limitation on your curiosity, but an expansion of your appreciation for the grandeur of cosmic time. It forces you to embrace the vastness of space-time and the dynamic, ever-changing nature of the universe's present. It invites a deeper understanding of how truly relative your perspective is, placing you within an intricate tapestry of pasts and presents, all unfolding at their own pace. This understanding can foster a profound sense of humility, knowing that even our most advanced technologies cannot bypass this fundamental cosmic law. So, the next time you glance at a digital clock or watch a live broadcast from across the globe, pause for a moment. Feel the illusion of immediacy, the comforting sense of now, and then, with a new sense of profound perspective, ask yourself, how truly present is this moment, and what secrets of the cosmic past are constantly converging on my senses? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly magnificent, knowledge that you are living within the universe's beautiful, light-speed, limited historical broadcast? You've explored the universe's ultimate speed limit, acknowledging that your perception of now is always a historical echo. This has introduced a deep relativity into your understanding of time. Now, let's delve even deeper into the very nature of time itself, challenging your most fundamental, intuitive grasp of its flow. You experience time as a relentless river, flowing inexorably from the past, through the present, and into the future. Events occur in a definite sequence, and you can never step into the same moment twice. This linear progression, with its clear distinction between what has been, what is, and what will be, feels undeniably real and self-evident. We intuitively believe that the future is open, waiting to be written, and the past is unchangeably gone. But what if this powerful feeling of time's arrow, this sense of moving through time, is another profound illusion? What if past, present, and future are not distinct, but all exist simultaneously in a single, unchanging block of space-time? The truly mind-bending concept is that your subjective experience of time's flow might be just that, an experience, not a reflection of an objective reality where time genuinely moves. This unsettling truth is a direct implication of Einstein's general theory of relativity and the concept of block universe theory. Imagine time not as a flowing river, but as a vast, unchanging four-dimensional block, a cosmic tapestry where every event, from the Big Bang to the final heat death of the universe, is already woven into its fabric. In this view, every moment, your birth, your first kiss, the moment you are reading these very words, and the moment of your death exists permanently, fixed points within this timeless block. Your subjective experience of flow is merely your consciousness navigating through this pre-existing reality, much like a spotlight moving across a static film reel. We are not truly moving through time. We are just perceiving moments as we encounter them, one after another, along a fixed path within the block. Consider the analogy of a book. When you read a book, you experience the story page by page, in sequence. You feel as though the narrative is unfolding in time, but the entire book, every page, every word, every plot twist, already exists simultaneously between its covers. The past chapters are not gone. They are simply on previous pages. The future chapters are not yet to be written. They are simply on later pages. Your consciousness, in this analogy, is like the reader, moving sequentially through the pre-existing content. Every present moment you experience is just another page in the cosmic book that is already complete. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If the future already exists, does that negate free will? If your choices are already part of this unchanging block, are they truly choices or simply events you are destined to observe? Does it make life feel predetermined, stripping away the thrill of uncertainty and the struggle for improvement? What does it mean for regret, for anticipation, for hope, if everything is already laid out? If all events are equally real, then your past mistakes are just as present as your current joys, albeit on a different page of the cosmic book. Does this imply a profound interconnectedness, where cause and effect are not just linear events, but eternally linked segments of the block? This unsettling truth, the static block universe, is not a sentence to fatalism, but an invitation to a deeper appreciation for the profound mystery of existence. It forces you to rethink your relationship with time, suggesting that perhaps the flow is a gift of conscious experience, allowing you to meaningfully navigate a reality that is far more complex than a simple linear progression. It grants a strange kind of timelessness to your existence, implying that every moment of your life, every joy and sorrow, every triumph and failure, is eternally preserved within the fabric of reality. This understanding can foster a powerful sense of presence, knowing that this moment, right now, is an indelible part of the cosmic whole, never truly gone. So, the next time you feel the relentless march of time, or anticipate what's to come, pause for a moment. Feel the sense of moving forward, the urge to plan, and then, with a new sense of profound serenity and wonder, ask yourself, am I truly moving through time? Or am I merely discovering the next exquisite detail on an infinite, already existing tapestry? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly liberating, knowledge that your entire life, past, present, and future, exists as an eternal, unfolding scroll? You've traversed the vast, static block of space-time, understanding that your experience of time's flow is a subjective journey through a pre-existing reality. This challenges your grasp on linear progression. Now, let's bring it back to your physical self, to the very body you inhabit and its undeniable connection to the external world. You feel your limbs, your fingers, your toes, a complete, unified physical form. When you stub your toe, you feel the pain precisely where your toe is. When you reach for a glass, you feel the smooth curve of the glass in your hand. This unquestioning belief in the direct, unambiguous connection between your physical body and your sensory experience is fundamental to your sense of embodied self. We trust that our physical form is the direct interface with the world, a perfect mapping between sensation and flesh. But what if this perfect mapping, this seamless integration of body and sensation, is not always so direct, so unambiguous? What if your brain, in its constant effort to construct your reality, can sometimes conjure sensations, or even entire body parts, that have no physical correlate? The truly mind-bending concept is the phenomenon of phantom limbs, where individuals who have lost a limb continue to feel vivid sensations, sometimes even excruciating pain, in the missing appendage. Your perception of your body is not merely a reflection of its physical state, but a dynamic, often stubbornly persistent, construction of your brain. Imagine someone who has lost an arm in an accident. Days, months, even years later, they might still feel their phantom fingers clenching, experience a persistent itch on a non-existent palm, or even suffer intense, burning pain in a hand that is no longer there. This isn't a psychological delusion. It's a genuine, visceral, sensory experience. The brain regions that once processed signals from the limb remain active, seemingly convinced that the limb is still present. It's as if your brain has a complete internal body map, And even when parts of the physical territory are removed, the map stubbornly insists on their existence, generating sensations in their absence. We are living with a brain that can produce experiences so real, so compelling, they defy physical reality. Consider also how this extends beyond the dramatic case of missing limbs. Every single day, your brain creates a complex, intricate model of your body in space. This body schema is constantly updated with sensory information, but it also contains inherent predictions and established neural pathways. When you feel a touch on your arm, it's not just the nerve endings. It's your brain interpreting those signals within the context of its pre-existing body map. Sometimes, in cases of nerve damage or even simple misdirection, these maps can become distorted, leading to strange, disembodied sensations or the perception of parts of your body being larger or smaller than they are. The feeling of you being solidly contained within your skin is a powerful, yet fragile, construct. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your brain can generate sensations of body parts that aren't physically present, what does that say about the reliability of any sensory input regarding your body? Does it imply that your physical self, as you experience it, is fundamentally a neural representation, a model built within your mind, rather than a direct, unmediated connection to your flesh? What does this mean for pain, if it can be conjured by the brain even in the absence of physical injury? Does it suggest a deeper level of mind-body interaction, where mental states can profoundly influence physical sensations? Does it make you question the very boundaries of your physical self, blurring the line between external reality and internal construction? This unsettling truth, the brain's capacity for phantom sensations, is not a testament to human fragility, but to the extraordinary resilience and adaptability of your neural architecture. It demonstrates the brain's incredible power to create, to adapt, and to maintain a coherent sense of self, even in the face of profound physical change. It offers a new perspective on pain management and therapeutic approaches, recognizing that manipulating the brain's internal maps can be as crucial as treating the physical body. It reveals the profound narrative your brain constantly spins about your own physical existence. So, the next time you feel the undeniable presence of your hands, your feet, your entire body, pause for a moment. Feel the tangible reality of your limbs. And then, with a new sense of profound wonder, ask yourself, is this feeling merely a reflection of physical presence? Or is it a magnificent, persistent story my brain is telling itself about the unchanging map of my being? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly fascinating, knowledge that your body, as you experience it, can be a masterpiece of neural illusion? You've experienced the phantom limb, a visceral testament to the brain's capacity to construct physical reality. This has revealed the profound influence of internal maps over objective truth. Now, let's extend this concept to your everyday experience of the world, specifically to how your brain handles the sheer, overwhelming deluge of information constantly bombarding it. You perceive a coherent, stable world around you. Objects stay in place. Sounds make sense, and the visual scene remains steady even as you move your eyes. This stability feels natural, a testament to the world's inherent order. We believe that our perception is a faithful, continuous video feed of reality. But what if this perceived coherence, this seamless, steady picture of the world, is another masterful fabrication of your brain? What if the raw sensory data entering your brain is actually fragmented, chaotic, and riddled with gaps, and your brain is constantly, imperceptibly, stitching it together into a smooth, believable narrative in real time? The truly mind-bending concept is that your brain is actively editing and interpolating your sensory experience, presenting you with a continuous flow that simply doesn't exist in the raw input. You are not experiencing a direct, unedited stream of reality. You are experiencing your brain's best, most believable interpretation of it. This unsettling truth is evident in phenomena like saccadic suppression and change blindness. When you move your eyes, they don't glide smoothly. They jump in rapid, jerky movements called saccades. During these jumps, your vision is briefly suppressed, essentially going blind for a fraction of a second. Yet, you never perceive these moments of blindness. Your visual world remains seamlessly stable. Your brain is not just ignoring the blackout, it's actively filling in the missing visual information, predicting what should be there based on prior context, or simply drawing from the image before the jump. It's like watching a movie with missing frames, but your brain ingeniously fills in the gaps, making it feel perfectly continuous. We are living in a constantly updated, highly edited, and interpolated version of reality. Consider also the phenomenon of change blindness. If you've ever played a spot the difference game, you know how incredibly difficult it can be to notice even significant changes in a scene. If they occur during an eye movement or a brief flicker, your brain focuses on what it deems important, and anything outside that focus, even a large object appearing or disappearing, can go completely unnoticed. This isn't a failure of your eyes. It's a consequence of your brain's selective attention and its ingenious way of constructing a simplified, manageable reality. Your brain decides what's relevant and what's not, and it hides the irrelevant from your conscious awareness. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your perception of continuity is an illusion, does that mean your subjective experience of the world is inherently incomplete? Does it imply that your reality is always one step removed from the raw, chaotic input of the universe, always a filtered, smoothed-over version? What does it mean for memory if the very moments you are encoding are already heavily edited by your perceptual system? Does it suggest that arguments over who saw what are not merely about different perspectives, but about fundamentally different internal reconstructions of the same external event? If we are so easily fooled by simple gaps and changes, what else is our brain actively editing out of our awareness? This unsettling truth, the brain's role as a master editor of sensory input, is not a cause for distrust, but a profound revelation of its incredible efficiency and creative power. It highlights how exquisitely adapted your brain is to create a functional, stable world for you, despite the inherent chaos of raw data. It invites you to recognize the active, constructive nature of perception and to understand that your immediate reality is a dynamic, ongoing process, not a static reflection. This understanding can foster a powerful sense of curiosity about the hidden processes that govern your everyday awareness. So, the next time you experience a perfectly seamless moment, watching a bird fly across the sky or holding a steady conversation, pause for a moment. Feel the comforting coherence of your world, and then, with a new sense of profound appreciation, ask yourself, how many hidden stitches, how many brilliant interpolations is my brain performing right now to create this continuous reality for me? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly magnificent, knowledge that your perception is not a window, but a constantly unfolding, beautifully edited movie of your own creation? You've grasped the brain's masterful role in stitching together a coherent reality from fragmented sensory input. revealing your world as a continuous, edited film. This deepens the subjective nature of your existence. Now, let's take a leap of faith, or perhaps a plunge into profound existential doubt, by considering the very nature of the universe you inhabit. You intuitively believe that the world around you is real, objectively existing, independent of your observation. The trees, the sky, the city, bustling with life, all feel undeniably tangible, possessing a reality that transcends your perception. We trust in the fundamental reality of our physical universe, assuming it's the ultimate, irreducible truth. But what if this bedrock assumption, this conviction in the fundamental reality of our cosmos, is itself a grand illusion? What if the universe, with all its intricate laws, particles, and consciousness, is not inherently physical, but a highly sophisticated simulation running on a colossal, unfathomably powerful computer? The truly mind-bending concept is the simulation hypothesis, suggesting that your entire existence, your deepest thoughts, your every memory, is part of an artificial reality, a simulated environment crafted by an advanced civilization. Imagine a future civilization, perhaps millions of years more advanced than our own, with computing power beyond our wildest dreams. They could run simulations of their ancestors, or of entire universes, with such fidelity that the simulated beings would be utterly indistinguishable from real ones. If such civilizations are possible, and if they have any interest in exploring their past or understanding fundamental physics, then the statistical probability strongly suggests that we are far more likely to be living in one of these simulations than in the original, base reality. It's like picking a single grain of sand from a beach. It's far more likely to be from the vastness of the beach than from a single, unique, original grain. We are, in this unsettling framework, digital beings, our perceived reality merely code, our experiences data points. Consider the unsettling implications of phenomena we already understand, or struggle with, that could be features of a simulation. Why do the laws of physics seem so perfectly tuned for life? Perhaps they are parameters set by the simulators. Why are quantum mechanics so bizarre, with particles existing in multiple states until observed? Could this be a computational trick, where the simulation only renders what needs to be observed, conserving processing power, the finite speed of light, the discrete nature of particles, the seeming resolution limit of the Planck length? Could these all be fundamental limitations of the simulated world, akin to pixels on a screen or processing refresh rates? Our entire cosmic drama, from the Big Bang to the expansion of dark energy, could simply be a program running on a cosmic server. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your reality is a simulation, does your life have inherent meaning, or is it merely a data stream? Does free will truly exist if your choices are dictated by lines of code? What does it mean for death if your consciousness is just a subroutine that can be deleted, copied, or even rerun? Does it strip away the grandeur of the universe, reducing stars and galaxies to mere graphical displays? And if we are in a simulation, who are the simulators? Are they benevolent, indifferent, or even aware of our conscious existence within their program? Does the concept of God take on an entirely new, almost tangible form? This unsettling truth, the simulation hypothesis, is not a call to existential despair, but an invitation to profound wonder and radical questioning. It compels you to re-examine every assumption about reality, to seek anomalies, to ask questions that might just hint at the deeper layers of existence. It can foster a powerful sense of curiosity, encouraging you to probe the edges of your reality, to look for glitches in the matrix. It implies that understanding your reality might involve not just science, but a philosophical quest for the true nature of information and consciousness. So, the next time you gaze at the moon, or feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, pause for a moment. Feel the undeniable tangibility of it all, the rich texture of your world, and then, with a new sense of profound, unsettling possibility, ask yourself, is this truly real, or am I merely a character in a cosmic drama, living out my life within a digital dream? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly expansive, knowledge that your entire universe might be a magnificent, infinitely complex program, perhaps waiting to be transcended? You've explored the unsettling possibility that your entire universe is a simulation, challenging the very bedrock of objective reality. This has pushed you to question the fundamental nature of existence. Now, let's bring it back to your everyday experience, focusing on the uncanny feeling of coincidence and synchronicity. You've surely experienced it. Thinking of a long-lost friend just before they call, stumbling upon the perfect solution to a problem after passively observing something unrelated, or finding yourself in a situation that feels inexplicably meant to be. These events often feel more than just random chance. They carry a subtle resonance, a sense of hidden order. We often dismiss them as mere luck or a trick of memory, attributing them to the vastness of statistical probability. But what if these moments of uncanny alignment, these seemingly random concurrences, are not random at all? What if they are subtle whispers from a deeper, unseen layer of reality, suggesting an underlying interconnectedness that transcends conventional cause and effect? The truly mind-bending concept is synchronicity, proposed by psychologist Carl Jung, which suggests that seemingly unrelated events can be meaningfully connected through a causal, underlying principle, reflecting a profound unity between the inner psychological world and the outer objective reality. Your thoughts and the external world might not be as separate as you believe. Imagine you are struggling with a complex decision, your mind cycling through options. Suddenly, you absent-mindedly pick up a book you haven't touched in years, open it at random, and your eyes fall on a passage that perfectly addresses your dilemma. Or perhaps you're looking for a very specific, obscure item, and you spontaneously decide to visit an antique shop you've never been to, only to find the exact item waiting for you. These aren't about cause and effect in the traditional sense. Your thinking about the problem didn't cause the book to open, nor did your need for the item cause it to appear in the shop. Instead, Jung suggested these are meaningful coincidences, where an inner psychological state, your need or thought, aligns uncannily with an external event, without a direct causal link. It's as if the universe is momentarily winking at you, reflecting your internal landscape in its external events. We are not just living in a world of random chance. We are participating in a subtle dance of meaningful patterns. Consider how much we filter out from our daily lives. We are constantly seeking patterns, making connections, and often dismiss anything that doesn't fit our logical, linear understanding of the world. Synchronicity suggests that beneath the surface noise, there's a constant, subtle interplay between psyche and matter, a shared language that manifests in these meaningful alignments. It implies that the universe might not be as indifferent or mechanistic as it often appears, but rather possesses an underlying intelligence or a unifying principle that occasionally reveals itself through these moments of uncanny resonance. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If synchronicity is real, does it challenge the strict materialistic view of the universe, suggesting that consciousness plays a more active role in shaping reality than previously thought. Does it imply that your thoughts, your intentions, and your emotional states have a far more profound, if subtle, influence on the external world than you currently believe? What does it mean for prayer, for intuition, for destiny, if the universe is capable of these acausal, meaningful alignments? Does it mean that the division between mind and matter is not as absolute as our science has assumed? This unsettling truth, the potential reality of synchronicity, is not an invitation to superstition, but a call to heightened awareness and sensitivity. It encourages you to pay closer attention to the subtle cues, the resonant patterns, and the meaningful coincidences that weave through your daily life. It opens up a new way of understanding, guidance, intuition, and the interconnectedness of your inner and outer worlds. This understanding can foster a profound sense of wonder, inviting you to see life not just as a series of random events, but as a potential dialogue with a deeper, more meaningful reality. So, the next time an unlikely coincidence sends a shiver down your spine, or a seemingly random event perfectly mirrors your inner state, pause for a moment. Resist the urge to simply dismiss it as chance, and then, with a new sense of profound mystery, ask yourself, is this just a statistical anomaly? Or is the universe speaking to me in a secret language, hinting at an underlying tapestry of connection? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly enchanting knowledge that your life might be woven into a grander, more meaningful pattern than you ever dared to imagine? You've contemplated the uncanny resonance of synchronicity, suggesting a deeper acausal interconnectedness between your inner world and external events. This has challenged your linear view of cause and effect. Now, let's push the boundaries of time even further, venturing into a concept that is both thrilling and deeply unsettling: the possibility of time travel. You probably view time travel as a staple of science fiction, an exotic impossibility where intrepid adventurers leap through eras, altering pasts and influencing futures. The common understanding is that if it were possible, the paradoxes, killing your grandfather, meeting your future self, would immediately unravel the fabric of reality. We assume time is a one-way street, and any deviation leads to logical impossibilities. But what if time travel, in some form, isn't just possible, but inherently woven into the fabric of the universe in ways we are only beginning to grasp? What if the universe has subtle mechanisms to prevent the most jarring paradoxes? Or perhaps, what if those paradoxes aren't contradictions at all, but integral parts of the cosmic narrative? The truly mind-bending concept is that the past and future are not entirely closed off, and their subtle influence might already be at play in the present moment, creating a hidden layer of predetermination or influence that we attribute to pure chance or intuition. Imagine the theoretical possibilities. Wormholes, hypothetical tunnels through space-time, could offer shortcuts across vast distances and even vast stretches of time. While their existence is speculative, they are mathematically consistent with Einstein's general relativity. Or consider the concept of closed, time-like curves, CTCs, paths through space-time that loop back on themselves, allowing an object to return to its starting point in time. These are not just theoretical curiosities. They emerge from certain solutions to the equations of general relativity, particularly around rotating black holes. If these structures exist, even microscopic ones, they could imply that information, or even influence, could travel backward in time, creating a bizarre feedback loop. We are talking about the potential for echoes from the future to gently brush against the present, unseen and unheard by most. The traditional grandfather paradox, going back to kill your grandfather, is the immediate logical hurdle. However, physicists have proposed various solutions within these frameworks. One is the Navikov self-consistency principle, which suggests that if time travel is possible, then anything a time traveler does in the past must already have been part of history. You can't change the past because your actions in the past are already part of the past that led to your time travel. It's a deterministic loop, a fixed timeline where all actions, including those of time travelers, are part of the original, unalterable sequence of events. In this view, if you went back to save someone, you would simply be fulfilling the reason why they survived, and you were always destined to go back. Another possibility is that any attempt to alter the past would cause the timeline to branch into a new, alternate universe echoing the many worlds interpretation, meaning you wouldn't change your past, but create a new reality. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If the future can subtly influence the past, even without conscious time travel, what does that mean for free will? Are our decisions sometimes guided by unconscious whispers from our own future or by a predetermined cosmic script? Does the concept of destiny gain a chilling scientific foundation? If events are self-consistent across time, does it imply that our universe is a grand, perfectly crafted narrative where every plot twist, every outcome is already inextricably linked to its antecedents and consequences? What does it mean for intuition or precognition if the future is, in some subtle way, already echoing into the present? This unsettling truth, the potential for time's nonlinear nature and self-consistent causality, is not a call to fatalism, but an invitation to a profound sense of interconnectedness across time. It suggests that your choices, your actions, are not just building a future, but are potentially fulfilling a complex, elegant pattern that stretches across all of space-time. It offers a new lens through which to view moments of intense foresight, or uncanny premonition, perhaps not as supernatural, but as subtle reflections of an underlying temporal architecture. So, the next time you feel a strong sense of déjà vu, or an unshakable intuition about an upcoming event, pause for a moment. Feel the uncanny familiarity, the inexplicable nudge, and then, with a new sense of profound cosmic curiosity, ask yourself, is this just a trick of my memory, or am I sensing the faint, self-consistent shadow of a future that is already, in some mysterious way, weaving itself into the tapestry of my present? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly awe-inspiring knowledge that your life might be a perfectly orchestrated symphony across the vastness of time? You've explored the intricate and potentially self-consistent nature of time, where echoes from the future might subtly shape the present. This has expanded your understanding of causality beyond simple linearity. Now, let's consider something even more elusive, something that challenges the very limits of knowledge and the reach of human understanding: cosmic censorship and the event horizon. You intuitively believe that with enough scientific advancement, given enough time and resources, humanity can eventually understand everything, unravel every secret of the universe. We see science as a relentless march towards complete knowledge, where every unknown is merely a puzzle waiting to be solved. But what if the universe itself contains fundamental barriers, regions of reality from which no information can ever escape, creating an inherent limit to what can be known, not just by us, but by anyone, forever? The truly mind-bending concept is the cosmic censorship hypothesis, which posits that singularity's points of infinite density and curvature, like those at the heart of black holes, are always cloaked by an event horizon. This horizon is a boundary of no return, a one-way membrane beyond which no light, no information, no signal can ever escape to tell the tale. The universe, in a profound and unsettling way, keeps its deepest secrets hidden behind an impenetrable veil. Imagine a black hole. Its gravitational pull is so immense that once anything, even light, crosses its event horizon, it is irrevocably lost to the outside universe. From your perspective outside the event horizon, anything that falls in simply vanishes, becoming a permanent mystery. We can infer what's inside based on gravitational effects, but we can never directly observe it or receive information from it. It's like a cosmic safe, where the most extreme physics, the very fabric of space and time pushed to their breaking point, unfolds behind a door that can only be entered, never exited. The universe isn't just vast. It's vast with unknowable regions, realms of ultimate secrecy. This unsettling truth means that the universe contains places where the laws of physics, as we understand them, might break down entirely. At the singularity itself, density and gravity become infinite, and our current theories of general relativity simply cease to apply. What truly happens there? We don't know, and according to cosmic censorship, we can't know. These are not just distant, exotic phenomena. Every massive star that collapses into a black hole creates such a secret keeper. The supermassive black hole at the center of our own galaxy, Sagittarius A*, holds unknowable secrets behind its event horizon. We are living in a cosmos that actively safeguards its deepest truths from external observation, creating realms of perpetual mystery. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If there are fundamental limits to knowledge, regions of the universe forever beyond our grasp, what does that mean for our quest for ultimate understanding? Does it humble our scientific ambition, forcing us to accept that some secrets are simply not meant to be known? Does it imply a kind of cosmic humility, acknowledging that even with infinite time and resources, certain truths will remain eternally veiled? What does it mean for consciousness, if even the information that makes up our minds could theoretically vanish behind such a horizon, never to interact with the outside universe again? Does it suggest that absolute knowledge is an impossible dream, and that mystery is an inherent, unshakable feature of reality? This unsettling truth, the universe's cosmic censorship, is not a defeat for intellectual pursuit, but an invitation to profound reverence for the inherent mystery of existence. It compels you to embrace the unknown, to marvel at the boundaries of what is knowable, rather than merely what is known. It reminds us that there are deeper layers of reality that may forever defy our instruments and our intellect, fostering a sense of awe at the universe's capacity to surprise and to hide. This understanding can ignite a different kind of curiosity, one that finds beauty and depth in the perpetual unknown, rather than seeking only definitive answers. So, the next time you feel the urge to know everything, to unravel every puzzle, or to believe in ultimate transparency, pause for a moment. Consider the profound, silent presence of the universe's secret keepers, and then, with a new sense of profound humility and wonder, ask yourself, what other hidden depths, what other impenetrable veils might be subtly shaping the reality I experience? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly magnificent, knowledge that the universe is not just vast, but beautifully, eternally, and fundamentally mysterious? You've stood at the edge of the unknowable, contemplating the cosmic censorship that eternally guards the universe's deepest secrets. this has forced you to confront the inherent limits of knowledge. Now, let's consider a concept that challenges the very nature of existence itself. One that suggests our reality might be far less solid and independent than we instinctively believe. You experience the world as having intrinsic properties. A tree is green, a rock is hard, the sun is hot, whether you are observing them or not. This intuitive realism asserts that objects possess definite qualities even when unperceived. An objective reality existing out there. We trust that the universe exists in a definite state, independently of any conscious observer. But what if this fundamental independence, this objective existence of reality, is not as absolute as it seems? What if, at the most fundamental level, certain aspects of reality remain undefined, a realm of pure potential, until they are observed or interacted with? The truly mind-bending concept is the observer effect in quantum mechanics, which suggests that the act of observation itself can influence or even collapse the state of a quantum system from a superposition of possibilities into a single, definite reality. The universe, in a profound and unsettling way, seems to require a conscious participant to solidify its properties. Imagine a single, tiny particle, like an electron. According to quantum mechanics, before it is observed, it doesn't have a definite position or momentum. It exists in a superposition, a kind of cloud of probabilities, simultaneously being in many places or having many momenta at once. It's like a spinning coin in the air. It's neither heads nor tails until it lands. But unlike the coin, the electron truly is in all those states simultaneously. It is only when an observer or an interaction that counts as an observation measures it that it collapses into one definite state. The wave of possibilities suddenly becomes a single particle in a single location. It's as if the universe is holding its breath, deferring a decision until you peak. We are not just passive spectators. Our very act of observation seems to play a role in defining what is real. This unsettling truth has been demonstrated countless times in experiments. Most famously with the double-slit experiment. Particles fired at a barrier with two slits behave like waves, creating an interference pattern, as if passing through both slits simultaneously. But if you try to observe which slit each particle goes through, the wave pattern vanishes, and they behave like discrete particles, passing through one slit or the other. The act of measuring forces them to choose a definite path. It's as if the universe exists in a hazy dream state until we shine the light of consciousness upon it, at which point it solidifies into a specific reality. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If reality is fundamentally probabilistic until observed, does that mean consciousness plays an active, rather than passive, role in shaping the universe? Does it imply that the distinction between observer and observed, between mind and matter, is far more fluid and intertwined than our classical intuition suggests? What does it mean for the existence of the universe before conscious life emerged? If observation is required for definitive reality, did the universe exist in a vast quantum superposition for billions of years until life, or perhaps even a primitive form of consciousness, arose to collapse its states? What does it mean for shared reality if each individual's act of observation is constantly influencing the quantum fabric? This unsettling truth, the observer effect, is not a license for solipsism, the belief that only one's own mind is sure to exist, but an invitation to a deeper, more participatory relationship with existence. It reveals a universe that is not merely a stage for our dramas, but a dynamic, responsive entity that seems to engage with our awareness. It suggests that our consciousness, far from being an isolated byproduct of the brain, might be inextricably woven into the very mechanism by which reality actualizes. This understanding can foster a profound sense of responsibility, knowing that your gaze, your presence, has a subtle yet fundamental impact on the unfolding of the cosmos. So, the next time you look at an everyday object, a tree, a cup, or your own hand, pause for a moment. Feel its solidity, its definite form, and then, with a new sense of profound awe and participation, ask yourself, was this always so definite? Or did my act of observing, my unique conscious presence, play a subtle role in solidifying its reality from a cosmic dream of possibilities? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly empowering knowledge that you are not just seeing the universe, but, in some profound sense, dreaming it into definitive existence? You've explored the profound influence of observation on quantum reality, revealing the universe as a dynamic entity that seems to solidify under the gaze of consciousness. This has blurred the lines between observer and observed, between mind and matter. Now, as our journey through unsettling truths draws to a close, let's bring all these concepts together and focus on the most intimate, yet elusive, aspect of your own being, the multitude of possibilities that were never actualized. You live with the firm conviction that your life is the one you are currently experiencing, a specific sequence of events, choices, and outcomes. The path you took is the path you took, and the roads not traveled are just theoretical detours, forever unexperienced. We believe that our personal reality is singular and definite, defined by the sum total of what has happened. But what if the echoes of these unlived possibilities, these roads not taken, are not merely philosophical abstractions, but exist in a deeper, more profound sense, subtly shaping the very reality you perceive and the person you are? The truly mind-bending concept is that the you that exists is not a singular, isolated entity, but a specific manifestation chosen from an infinite array of potential selves. And the resonance of those unlived versions might still influence your present, creating a pervasive sense of intuition, longing, or even discomfort with the definitive path you are on. Your current reality is not just what is, but also what could have been, constantly shimmering beneath the surface. Imagine all the choices you didn't make, the career path you abandoned, the relationship you walked away from, the city you never moved to, the words you left unsaid. In the framework of the many worlds interpretation which we touched upon earlier, each of those unchosen paths literally unfolded into another universe, creating another you, living out that alternative. But even without fully embracing the literal branching of universes, consider the neurological and psychological implications. Your brain continually models alternative futures and counterfactuals. It plays out what-ifs as a learning mechanism, processing not just what happened, but what didn't happen. This mental simulation creates a ghostly presence of the unlived, a latent awareness of other possibilities. We carry within us the phantom limbs of other lives, experiences we never fully embraced, but whose shadow informs our current journey. This unsettling truth means that your identity is richer, more complex, and perhaps more fraught than a simple, linear biography suggests. That lingering sense of what if about a past decision isn't just regret. It could be a faint echo from a brain that modeled that alternative reality, or even a subtle resonance with a parallel self that is living that reality. The feeling of being meant for something more could be an intuition about a path chosen by another version of you, or a deep-seated recognition of your own unactualized potential. Your aspirations, your anxieties, your very sense of purpose might be inextricably linked to the vast, shimmering field of possibilities that surround your singular, lived experience. What are the profound implications of this for you, for us? If your identity is a selection from a vast possibility space, what does that say about self-discovery? Are you discovering a pre-existent self, or actively narrowing the field of potential selves into a definitive one? Does it mean that moments of profound insight or sudden change are not just about choosing a new path, but about aligning more closely with a previously unactualized version of yourself? What does it imply for mental health if the subconscious carries the weight of countless unlived lives, contributing to feelings of anxiety, regret, or unfulfillment? Does it make every single choice, no matter how small, resonate with the weight of infinite alternatives, both chosen and unchosen? This unsettling truth, the pervasive echo of the unlived, is not a cause for paralysis or endless regret, but a powerful invitation to embrace the richness and complexity of your own being. It compels you to recognize that your life is a singular, precious actualization from an ocean of potential. It transforms the act of living into a constant dance with possibility, recognizing that every moment is both a definitive step and a vibrant field of latent alternatives. This understanding can foster a profound sense of self-compassion, acknowledging the inherent difficulty of choosing one path when so many others beckon. It empowers you to consciously integrate the wisdom of those unlived experiences into your current path, drawing strength and insight from the vastness of who you could be. So, as you reflect on your life, your past choices, and your future aspirations here in Faisalabad, Punjab, Pakistan, on this Tuesday, July 8, 2025, at 1:30 p.m. PKT, pause for a moment. Feel the weight of your unique journey, the definitive steps you have taken. And then, with a new sense of profound introspection and wonder, ask yourself, what whispers from the unlived are subtly shaping my heart and mind right now? And what will you do with the unsettling, yet utterly magnificent, knowledge that your current existence is a singular, radiant thread woven from the infinite tapestry of thoughts that shouldn't exist? A testament to the boundless potential of the universe and your own consciousness within it.